Hey everybody, it's Sunday, January 24th, 2021, and we're here for another edition of From Shirley's Cottage with my mom, and she is here, but she does not want to be on camera. So Mom, can you at least say hi?
Hi everybody.
She said hi. So I'm going to read her article, but since last weekend we did the football. Oh, my mom wanted to do an update. We did the football last week, and she kind of mentioned Mac Brown in there, and I guess Mac Brown is now coaching again, Mom?
What?
Mac Brown is coaching again?
Yes, at the Carolina Tar Heels.
Carolina Tar Heels, so...
Which he was before actually.
Okay, anyway, Mac Brown is coaching again, so we're very happy about that. Anyway, and I will say Green Bay Packers are playing today. We're in Wisconsin, so Packer fans. Although I was even when I lived in Illinois. And I thought this would be a good time. I have a really good story. So I thought this would be a good time to maybe shake it up a little bit with Shirley's Cottage and tell you my own story because it's worth telling. And I thought this would be a good segue to be able to tell this fun story. I have a couple cool things that have happened in my lifetime, and this is one of them. So, and it will go along with the football and the Packers. So I'm gonna guess this was 2010. Don't hold me on that, but we were living in Minnesota and outside of Minneapolis, and I worked for a private optometry office, and I will say that there are HIPAA rules and violations, and I don't think I'm 100% sure I'm not violating any HIPAA rules by telling you that I did somebody's glasses, because if they're wearing glasses, you know that they got glasses. So anyway, I just want to put that out there for anybody that's thinking maybe I shouldn't be telling this story. But I was working for a private office, and the office I worked at, the doctor happened to have been Joe Mauer from the Twins, his eye doctor since the time he was little. So because of that, our office did all the eye care for the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, baseball, and then ended up doing all the eye care for the Minnesota Vikings. So I didn't work there that long because I moved back to Wisconsin. I think I was there maybe a year. But when I went, the girls, and they're signed jerseys and balls and everything all over the office, so it's not really a secret. But anyway, the girls were all about Joe Mauer, telling me about some of the people, some of the players that would be coming in. I was like, okay. At the time, well, Joe Mauer was pretty young. I think at that time he had signed a contract and was the highest paid catcher in the Major League Baseball. So that will kind of give you a time frame. Anyway, they're all about Joe Mauer and tell me about some of the other players that came in. And again, it was the Twins and the Vikings. And I just kind of made the comment, we had a couple offices, and I was going to be satelliting a day or two a week at the other office. I said, I don't care whatever happens. I'll just tell you who the player is. When he comes in, I don't care if I'm at home or at the other office. You guys need to call me, and I'm coming. Because when these guys would come in, they didn't necessarily have like an appointment. They would call and kind of make back way arrangements and come with their handlers or whoever you wanted to call them. So there was rules. No autographs, no pictures, that kind of stuff. Professional, respectful, that's it. So anyway, a few players had come in, and I said, I don't care where I'm at. Okay, this was 2010, about that. Brett Favre had left the Packers and was playing for the Vikings. And I said, I don't care what happens. When Brett Favre comes in, I don't care where I'm at. Well, they had told me he had already been in. once. I was like, oh my gosh, if he ever comes in again, let me know. I don't care where I'm at. So that did happen. This was August. It was right after my divorce went through, kind of, and I was moving into a condo, and I had been moving, and the movers were there. And at the end of the day, when I finally checked my phone, I had like 5 or 6 missed phone calls from the office. And I said, what's going on, you guys? And they said he was in today. And I thought, no, that just can't be. That can't be true. So Brett Favre. So anyway, I went into the office the next day, and I remember this so clearly. I sat in the doctor's office, and very, very, I really loved him as a doctor, and a very Catholic, spiritual. And I sat down, and I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And he said, what? And I was like, I was so dramatic because, I had gone through a divorce and it was a tough year. And I was like, how did I miss Brett Favre? Why couldn't God have done this one thing for me and given me a little bit of joy in my life? And, I missed him. And the doctor, I don't want to say his name, the doctor said, Kelly, I don't think God works that way. You never know what's going to happen. So that was August. So let's jump ahead to December. I don't even know. It was kind of maybe around, I want to say December 13th, but it was kind of around that time frame. This was actually ended up being the last, I think they were playing the Bears. The Vikings were playing the Bears in Minnesota, and it ended up being the very last full game that Brett Favre played, because he was injured in that game. I think it was his shoulder or his hand. Anyway, we were working, and I'm just working away. I'm with a patient, and the office manager comes over to me, and she calls me to the back, really serious, and she says, Kelly, the doctor needs to see you. I was like, what? I'm with a patient, as soon as I get done. And she's like, no, he needs to see you right now. And somebody else took over the patient, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Am I in trouble for something? So this sounds dramatic and like a little cartoon, but in my mind, it was. I'm walking down the hall into his office. The other girls are following me down the hall. And I go in his office, and he says, go ahead and close the door. So I closed the door. I think it was open like that much. And I know the other girls are out there listening. And I'm thinking, what in the heck? And so he's saying, I just want to go over a few things with you, that we're professional here. And, he was just kind of going into some office policy things. I was like, I know. I talk too much. He's like, no, we love how you are with the patients. And he said, Brett Favre's on his way. And I started screaming and jumping up and down. And he said, Kelly, that's why I had to talk to you first, to tell you, so you could get this out of your system. He's on his way. And he's kind of at this stage, and if he needs glasses, we're going to have you do it. And oh my gosh. So I know I'm going into great detail, but it's such a memory, and it was such an unbelievable experience. So it's winter. It's a small, not fancy office. Brett Favre walks in. He walks past the front desk, and, he had on his baseball sweatshirt, shorts in the winter, and a baseball cap. And he kind of, to the front desk, and they, go on back. And it was a little while. And I'm like, oh, I saw Brett walk in. And pretty soon the other doctor comes out, and he says, Kelly, grab, Tag Heuer, blah, 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 grab all these frames and come on back. So we're going to do a frame selection in the doctor's exam room. And having done this for a long time, there's a certain, the doctor, it's called a handoff, hands off the patient and goes through their needs and kind of things from the exam and, so that I know what I'm doing. And I brought a mirror and all these other things. And I'm just standing there. Well, first of all, I shook his hand and the doctors are going over the handoff. And in my head, I'm trying to act professional and I'm thinking, okay, okay. And then, but there's this voice like in this part of my head going, oh my God, it's Brett Favre, it's Brett Favre, that's Brett Favre. And, in an exam room right there. So finally the doctor is leaving. I'm in there by myself with him. And I brought this mirror. It was kind of an awkward situation because we're kind of at the in the exam room on the doctor's counter, and I brought a mirror, and he had his hat on, and I started having him try on a couple frames, and I said, "Are you gonna leave your hat on?" And he said, "Yeah." And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna tell Brett Favre to take his hat off. So he tried on a couple frames, and I said, "I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take your hat off," because I thought if I'm gonna do my job and do it well, I need to be able to see how these frames look and how they fit and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, long story short, oh shoot, you know what? I will stick a couple pictures in here. If you Google Brett Favre wearing sunglasses, there's this picture that comes up all the time where he's wearing a really dark sport coat and a crisp white shirt, and he has on these sunglasses, and those are the sunglasses I did. And then if you Google him at the some kind of NFL awards with Aaron Rodgers on stage, those are the glasses that I did. So I'll slip a couple pictures in here. But anyway, after we got done, this is what the part of the story that's my favorite. I was reading, his wife Deanna had just put out a book, and I don't remember the name of it, but I was reading that book. And when we got done, I was thinking, it was kind of a come down, like, oh, it's over. Oh, let me back up. When he's trying on glasses and you have to do measurements and I have to check his ears and the way they fit on his nose, let me tell you that I didn't just check once. I checked 2 or 3 times just to let you know. But anyway, after we got done, I was at this point, it was kind of a letdown, and I said, do you have a minute? And he said, yeah. And I said, obviously for me, you were on my bucket list. To meet you, that would be on my bucket list. But this is so much more to me than just that, because it's been a really tough year. And I want to tell you, I'm not saying he cried, but this was, I think, October was when he started, I don't even want to bring it up, but all that sexting stuff came up, and it had been a really tough year for him. And, there were haters from, Packer leftovers that were mad that he went to the Vikings, and, he was getting older and injured, and, I don't want to put things into how he felt, but that was my impression. So I said it was, it's really been a tough year. I've been going through a divorce, and his eyes welled up, and he said, yeah, it's been a really tough year. And so I'm telling you that we were, this face to face talking, and he was a humble, I don't want to say broken man, but he was just a regular guy. That's all I can say. He was just a regular guy. And I said, I'm reading your wife's book, and we talked about God and faith, and he said it. So we did talk about aging and vision and eyes and stuff, but we talked about God and faith, and he said it's so nice to see how somebody else goes through life and uses their faith. And it was just such a cool conversation. And gosh, what an opportunity for me. I'll never forget it. So anyway, he left. I'm so stupid. I just didn't want it to end. So we had kind of a ramp outside the office, and it was snowy. It was cold. And me, like I'm acting like I'm his mom, walk him out like I'm escorting him out of my house. and telling him to be careful on the ice or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was just a really, really cool experience. And I remember I was reading, there was a book that was all kinds of gratitude or something, kindness or something about writing letters. And I actually, he had somebody come in and pick up his glasses, and I had him kind of pre-adjusted and ready for him. And I put a note in there thanking him for the opportunity to talk to him and be his optician to his glasses. So anyway, after he left, that's when I let all the professionalism down. And oh my God, I thought my head was gonna explode. It was like the adrenaline just boom. And I actually had to go lay on my back in the lab on the floor. And I remember the doctor coming and just looming over me. And he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Of course I'm not okay. That was Brett Favre." And after that, he said, the way things went, and he wasn't with anybody else, he said, I'm sure we could have gotten a picture or done something. I'm sorry we didn't. And I thought, you know what, I don't photograph well. That would be a cool thing to show people. But between the two things, having a picture that I can show off or having that conversation about real life with him I wouldn't trade that in for anything. So anyway, that's my Brett Favre story. Some people have heard it a million times and are sick of it, but I wanted to share that because it was an unbelievable experience. So thank you for indulging me while I told that story. And we're jumping over to Shirley's cottage. Mom, did you like that story about Brett Favre?
Do I remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, she remembers. She likes it. Okay, this is from Thursday, January 29th, 2015. So again, I'm kind of trying to stay in the same time frame of the year. This is from Shirley's Cottage. Times change. Okay, here we go. In today's world, there's talk about the weather, the price of things, the government, television, the Green Bay Packers, the Badgers, and even the Bears. Some of us are displaced flatlanders, and everything and anything a person can think of. In yesterday's world, the talk was all about the same things. In our office alone, the three of us are in different decades and generations. She's talking about the office at the newspaper. We have memories of better times, worse times, and changing times. For example, our first television was black and white console. WGN, Channel 9 in Chicago was the only station we could get on a clear night. Before we had a television set, we had a Philco radio. Every Saturday night, we listened to Gunsmoke. Amy could wear jeans to school. She's the baby of the group. Ann and I could not. If legs had to be covered in cold weather, snow pants went under skirts, then came off and hung in the cloakroom. My favorite outfit was a gray felt circle poodle skirt and a purple dolman-sleeved batwing sweater. That sounds cute. Ooh, saddle shoes and penny loafers were in. And there better be pennies in the loafers. The boys, of course, could wear dungarees. Except, of course, I think she meant jeans by that. Except, of course, if the school was St. Rita's. That's where we went to school. Uniforms were in order for all nuns and wore habits all the time. Those were the days. On Sundays, no saddle shoes, not even loafers. Church meant dressing up with your best outfit, nylons. Be sure the seams were straight, gloves and a hat. Boys wore dress pants and white shirts. Drive-ins of the 50s had car hops who waited on you, expecting the 50-cent tip. But Anne remembers McDonald's, when the sign would read, 1 million sold. Amy grew up with her family playing cards and board games. I was good at pick-up sticks and canasta. My best friend Judy and I would stay up half the night playing canasta and eating Bermuda onion sandwiches with Miracle Whip on squishy little Miss Sunbeam bread. We all remember our favorite burgers. Prince Castle became before White Castle the home of the 15-cent burgers. My all-time favorite is Maid-Rites. Oh, I just have to interject because if we had to go to the doctor or anything, my mom would play a little hooky with us and take us for a maid rite before she took us back to school. Okay, my all-time favorite is maid rites. If you have watched Roseanne on TV, she worked in a diner that had loose meat sandwiches. Maid rites. Friday night was the night out for all of us, either a football game, movie, or just hanging out. I'm kind of caught in the middle here. We remembered so much, I'm out of space. Maybe I'll continue next week. These are some memories of the teenage years. Were those better days? For some of us, they were. Would I give up today to go back? I would like to, but I think the fountain of youth is greatly exaggerated. Better to have some sweet memories, but live for today and look forward to tomorrow. Cooking was from scratch. I can't imagine my dad having a TV dinner if they had been invented. However, the first meal I made my boyfriend was your boyfriend Dad, Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first meal I made my boyfriend, my dad, was a TV dinner with a homemade salad and bottle dressing. Try this. It was good then and good now. Okay. If I were writing these down, I would have a separate little book, like a little journal called Recipes from Shirley's Cottage, and I would be jotting these down because I'm not writing them out. Okay, turkey or chicken tetrazzini. You will need, this is for the topping, any type of dinner rolls coarsely crumbled, half a cup of shaved Parmesan, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of Italian herb seasoning. That's for the topping. For the filling, a 16-ounce package of home-style noodles cooked, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm acting so serious about it because I guess I want you to get it. 1 cup of chopped onion, 1 cup diced yellow squash, and 1 cup of peas. Mom, you don't even like peas.
Beets.
Peas.
No, but
No.
it was for everybody else.
She doesn't like peas. Okay, 1 cup of peas. 3 cups of diced cooked turkey or chicken. 2 cups of prepared Alfredo sauce. A half a cup grated Parmesan. Okay, preheat oven to 350. Butter a 9x13 dish. Then add all the ingredients together. Cover with the topping, and then bake 30 to 35 minutes or until thoroughly heated. She always writes enjoy at the end. Enjoy. Okay, that was a good one too. So here we are signing off from Shirley's Cottage. I'm taking my mom back to Cambridge. And Mom, you want to say bye?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.